in Ghana, I don't think we still understand the ability of the creative arts to project the country. We keep saying there's no Ghanaian film industry, there's no industry, there's no. We are the ones who make the industry. What are we doing about it? And I'm not saying that we should celebrate mediocrity. It's far from the point. And up till now, we've not heard anything. Cricket's there, cricket's here, cricket's everywhere. What is the way forward? Let's talk about the state of creative affairs in Ghana. Disclaimer, in this particular video, I'm going to be using creative industry to mean film, theater, music, fashion, literary arts, that has to do with writers and every other thing, and any other thing that has to do with creativity. So it could also be the visual artists and just basically creativity. So basically, any industry that has to do with creativity, that has to do with being creative in order to get results, is what I'm talking about. But we're going to narrow it down to film and theater. Let's talk about it. 2024 was a great year when it comes to the creative industry. There were so many grants, there were so many programs that creatives could enroll into and get support of a kind from non governmental industries. But let's talk about the film industry in retrospect. There were so many film premieres, some of them became a premiere pandemic. Films where we just saw them released in cinemas once and we never heard from them again. And then others stayed in the cinemas, especially the latter part of the year. In December, we were getting back to back to back to back films, and I was really excited about that. And it's really encouraging that we're getting better at it. People are getting back into the idea of the cinema culture, going to the cinemas to watch films, and it was exciting. We also had the Superbed cinemas, incorporating a lot more things to get people excited, especially the new generation. They had Up All Night and so many other things that they were doing that were encouraging younger generation to, get into the cinema culture, because now it's all about streaming. You have your smartphone, you have Netflix on it, you have YouTube. So what are you going to the cinema for? What are you going to pay 100 CDs or 150 CDs to go and watch a film for, when you can actually just, stream on your phone? But it's good to, get back into that cinema culture. So we're excited. So many programs that happen. Some I have covered on the channel, some that I'm still going to be posting very soon. So I'm going to try to post everything that I have, or the backlog of stuff that I have from last year, in this first month of the year. So stay tuned and definitely subscribe to get to see everything that happened throughout the year. So yeah, it was definitely a good year. One thing that is quite unfortunate is the numbers when it comes to like the box office, which I think Nigeria are doing quite well at, because they have like a cinema authority that releases figures every single week to show you how certain films are doing in the cinemas, or how they are doing based on ranking, based on the box office numbers. And I think it's something that we can definitely incorporate so that we can get to know the figures. And one thing that I think we lack generally in Africa when it comes to our creative sector is the numbers. We get all these foreign bodies coming in and doing research and getting the numbers for us. But at the end of the day, we need to get back into that. So maybe we are a data analyst, or you're someone who has learned how to, basically a data analyst. What else am I going to say? Yes, but if you're a data analyst and you're thinking of a field that you can go into, I think it's something that you should look into. I mean, I'm a film journalist, so I definitely read articles and try my best to get as much numbers. So maybe it's something I should also look into. Let's understand the numbers. Let's know what's doing well, what's not doing well, what the audience wants. I find it interesting that projects from Nigeria, for instance, are able to compile the Ghana numbers? Or is it because producers in Ghana do not go back, to the cinemas to ask, oh, how are the numbers, and release them? Or maybe they are not excited by the numbers. I can't really tell. Maybe it's something that I should definitely find out. Better stay tuned to this channel and I'll definitely get you the answers to that. So we had a lot of film festivals like the Black Star International Film Festival, the Accra Indie Film Festival, and then also the return of the Indiva Women Film Festival. And then I can't wait for this year's edition, because unfortunately I wasn't able to be present at last year's edition. So I look forward to this year's edition, and I was excited because it was already in existence a few years ago, but it took a pause after the pandemic and they just returned last year. So it's exciting to know what is to come for this new year. Let's get into what are our expectations for 2025. It's no secret that the creative industry has the propensity to elevate a country's status. It's evident in the way the US, in the UK, in India, and all the other countries that are leveraging on their creative industries. Let's talk film and theater only, for instance, and how they pump a lot of resources into those industries and they are getting the results. We are hearing big budget films that are bringing in more, maybe three times the budget that was spent. Basically, the country also benefits in the sense that if you're a production company, you want to shoot in the country, you're going to use the locals, you're going to use the people who are inhabitants of the country. So it then pushes more people to go into the film industry because they know that, hey, there's a business here, there's a market here, and constantly there are films being made. So people are, making a life out of creativity. There are also funds, there are also fellowships, and so many other things that they are benefiting from the industry. And it's rather unfortunate that in Ghana, let's just say in Africa, but then I think some countries in Africa are doing a good job. South Africa, Nigeria, you know, picking up the pace and leveraging on these particular platforms. But in Ghana, I don't think we still understand the ability of the creative arts to help or to actually project the country. Granted, the tourism industry is doing a great job, and I'd like to commend the government. Now they're the past government, so for investing in the tourism aspect, giving Ghana that facelift that you are a destination for December, you are the place to be if you're a diasporan, and then you want to set up a business, blah blah blah. Even though there are some issues that have come out of that, but that's not what this video is about. Basically, we have set ourselves up, we have put ourselves on a pedestal as we are that place to come to. But when people now come to the country and actually live here or actually get to see some of the policies that are in place, they realize that it doesn't really benefit them in any way. So there have been many instances, and recently I was a host for the Accra Indie Film Festival's first film talk party of 2025 on the 2nd of January at the British Council. And the panel session was about Ghanaians who are not in Ghana, so basically diasporans who are still trying to, connect with Ghana. Amake Abebese was one of the panel members, and it was moderated by Evan Egan. She was talking about how several opportunities have passed Ghana by because we do not have tax incentives for people who work in the creative industry. So if they want to bring their equipment, if they want to move into the country, getting these tax cutbacks actually helps them. And this is not the first time we've had issues with it, and I've even spoken about it on this channel before, where we had people coming into the country and saying they want to make films, and then they realize that, hey, I'm not going to be able to get any tax cutbacks. I'm going to have to pay full amount. I even have to pay more because I'm coming with a foreign currency, and it doesn't work for them because everybody wants to be able to save the little coins that they have to use for other things. And this is a great opportunity for locals to also benefit and earn foreign currency and also get better at the crafts that they are doing, which is film. So when production house in the US brings their main crew to Ghana, they work with locals, they work with people who are already established here. And then the locals will get to learn new techniques because obviously they are far advanced in those countries, and it helps. It's a win-win for us. And in 2023 at the Africa Cinema Summit, the president of the country at the time was there, and he spoke about how the country is working towards tax cutbacks, and up till now we've not heard anything. Crickets there, crickets here, crickets everywhere. I don't want this to become a ranting video. It's supposed to appreciate 2024 and look forward to a good 2025, right? So I guess I'm saying this to say there's so much that we as a country, Ghana, and even as a continent, Africa, we can do with all the talents and with all the amazing, amazing creatives that we have in the continent. And Ghana as a country is blessed with some of the most talented individuals. And it really lies on us as a people to leverage on these creative minds and propel the country, not just with tourism, not just with all the other things that we do. We really, really can make so much from the creative industry. I guess this is like a call to whoever is watching this and has the ability to make a change. Please, let's leverage on our creative industry, our creative sector. Let's see what we can do. Interact with people who are actually in the creative industry and know what they're about, not just a bunch of people who have never experienced what it is like to be a creative for one day and feel like they have the ability to tell us what we need and what we don't need. No, let's not do that. Let's not toe that road. Let's get people who actually understand what it is like to be a creative, to live off creativity, and to leverage on creativity. And I believe that we'll definitely have a great 2025 and beyond. All the amphitheaters and all the things that were promised by previous governments. What is the way forward? So many promises were made in the past: amphitheaters, a fund for creatives, whatnot. And also, we have a number of policies by the new government that are catered towards the creative industry. Enough of the talk. Let's actually act. Let's see what we can do to support the creative industry. Now, if you're watching me now, you're wondering, how can I support? There are people who are actually working hard to make the creative industry better. They are putting out films, they are putting out theater productions, and some of them are fantastic. Of course, not everything can be perfect. Even in the perfect industries, we have films that don't do too well. But what's important is people are actually watching these films and giving constructive criticism, not pulling the person down for all the effort they've put in it, or not just making them feel like they don't know what they're about. Okay. Of course, not every project is going to be 100%, but what's important is if you watch the project, just give your constructive criticism. You have no idea the resources that went into the project, the fact that a person has even decided to work on the project. You know how difficult it is for creatives generally, dealing with imposter syndrome and all these things, and having to now put out a project. And I'm not saying that we should celebrate mediocrity, it's far from the point, and it's something that I do not subscribe to. But the point I'm trying to make is that if you are someone who has watched a film, you're not too excited about it, what do you think can be better? And if you're not a film critic, or you're not someone who is in the film industry or has studied film before, you may not know the technicalities. You may just be an audience and know that, okay, there are certain things that you feel could have been better. There's still ways that you can get your message out without being mean to whoever it is that made the project. We are the industry. We basically are the ones who are going to make an industry. So if we keep saying there's no Ghanaian film industry, we are the ones who make the industry. What are we doing about it? Whenever there are film premieres, I would advise that we go out in our numbers to support people who are actually trying to put Ghana out there. Attending film premieres, attending theater productions, listening to Ghanaian music, just, supporting the creatives in the country. And that's basically how we can actually have an industry. Majority of the countries that are doing very well in their creative scene is because they keep talking about it, whether good or bad, but literally they support by talking, by actually listening and streaming. We as an audience also have a work to do. We have to support the industry. I guess I'm saying all this to say that this new year, we hope for great projects to come out of Ghana, not just projects that will be disappointed by, but we believe that Ghana has the potential to grow, not just in tourism, but in also the creative sector. And we are pleading with producers, filmmakers, basically anybody who is putting out content, putting out films, theater, productions, that they should work on the quality aspect of it. And the audience will definitely react, because you go to the cinemas and there's even this whole talk about how cinemas are pushing people to watch particular films. Well, because they know that the people are going to bring more people, because if the film is good, people are going to watch it. So the audience also are expecting good from us. And if we put out good and the audience also do good, then we get better. And we put out better, the audience gets better, and we'll get the best. So that's basically my 2 cents on the state of the creative arts industry in Ghana. Thank you for listening to my rant. This was supposed to be a recap video for 2024, but I just have a lot of things on my chest, and this is not even half of it. I plan to do more of these videos where we're just chit chatting. If you're watching this video and you have any thoughts, any comments, please feel free to share it in the comment section. Let's not hold it in. Let's talk. Let's share. That's how we can grow the industry. Let's share our thoughts. And if you don't even agree with me, I mean, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I have no problem with it. Don't hesitate at all to share your comments in the comment section, and I'll definitely reply. I do my best to reply every single comment, and let's keep it going. And thank you for staying on this video. Stay tuned to this channel for more content like this, and of course more reviews, more interviews, more experience with me, festivals, film programs, the works. You know how we do it right here on AJ for Short. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.